Hi and welcome to Writing Challenge Part 3, How to Fast Track, Finish and Celebrate Your Family Stories. Today's show is brought to you by the Your Family Stories system, and I have a special deal and free sections for you, so make sure you tune in until the end. But first, a quick introduction. Forever Young Autobiographies is the place to learn how to write life stories for family and friends so that unique memories will live on. And it would be fantastic if you could like, follow and subscribe to the show. So congratulations on making it to part 3 of this fun stay-at-home life story feature article writing challenge. Now this, if you've been following, is all about interviewing a loved one to record their stories, and this could be a parent, a grandparent or another loved one. And a lot of you have been getting your kids involved in as well, helping with planning for the interview and then holding the interview. So those were parts 1 and 2, planning and holding the interview. And today part 3 is all about organising and presenting this interview material. All of the tips for today and the whole challenge come from the Your Family Stories system. So let's jump in with step 1 for today. Now from your interview, your mind has probably been spinning with all that you have been told. Life story interviews are like that. But you need to get everything in one place and start organising. Now some of you have been doing video calls or just straight audio calls and have done the interview that way since we're all stuck at home in quarantine. So that's fantastic. You need to transcribe this material now. You can do that longhand or you could, type it up on the computer. If you're not great, enlist the help of a friend or a loved one, get them to do it for you, or you can help you. Break it down into sections and each do a section so it's not so onerous. If you want to pay for someone to transcribe it, that's a great time-saving method. There's places online such as rev.com where you can get about 1 minute per $1 transcribed, or you can look for a freelancer on, say, sites like Fiverr and Upwork. But there is another sort of halfway house you can think of, and this is machine transcription. Now Rev offers this, it's automatic transcription. And if you're using Google Docs, when you're typing it up, you can use the voice typing software in that. So you can replay the audio and have it type it up in front of you, or you could simply reread your notes and it will convert it to text. Another handy app that I came across for transcriptions was OTranscribe, and this is saving you having to flick between multiple windows and driving yourself crazy. And it was actually created by a journalist, so lots of shortcuts for the transcribing method with OTranscribe. So we've got everything transcribed. Onto point number 2, which is what to do with all our photographs. If we're creating a life story feature article, we definitely need photos. Now I know it is hard doing it distance. If ideally you would sit down with your loved one and you would have all the photos and documents right there. You'd be able to take them home, photograph them, scan them, put them into your system. But if you can work with your loved one to get a selection going, that is probably going to be the best stopgap right now. Get them sent to you digitally. And you want a nice collection going on, something that shows from childhood through to now. And then you need to narrow it down. You want probably about 5 to 6 photos spread across, the whole section of their lives to tell a complete story. And I know this is really difficult I love images and taking photos, and it's always agonizing trying to cut that back. But just like in fashion, less is more on this one. So make sure you pick about 5 to 6 for your feature article. And then we need to give each an informative caption. So we need to include those 5 W's and the H, which I've mentioned before. The who, what, when, where, why and how of what's going on in each image. And this is a really great exercise to include the kids in. They love writing just a short snippet to go with each photo. And of course, you can also think beyond what's not shown in the picture. put that in the caption, or if there's some information that doesn't quite make the cut for the article but might be still interesting, you can sometimes get it in a caption. All right, last step. This is my favorite step, which is putting it all together and presenting it. It's when it gets exciting, when you can start to see the finished product coming to life. If we are doing a feature article, we need to sort of condense all our transcribed notes. And you can do question answer format. That's completely fine. So you want to cut it back to say 2 pages worth of actual written copy. And then you're going to get your photos with their captions and you insert those or put them at the back or put them in between the pages. And you're going to put a headline on the top or some kind of title. And there you go. You've pretty much got your feature article. Just a nice compact format, something really easy, an easy win before you contemplate something bigger perhaps. But in today's world, we can do a lot with the information that we have collected. Now, you can just share the transcripts and the photos, or you might just want to email it to everybody, put it into an email and email it out to friends and family that way. Maybe you're just going to share the audio, you're just going to forget about the transcribing. Just share the audio. That in itself is quite valuable. But if you want to step it up, then try the feature article. You could also do a small book, or this interview and this challenge could be the start of something bigger, a full-scale book about someone's complete life with all the details, all the stories. You could make a movie. There's lots of different software out there. You could chop up the audio and use some more photos or some of the key photos and footage and make a short movie. That's a really great creative idea. And some people I've heard have even started websites with all this material. So, you have different chapters, might be different posts with their own photos or galleries. So there's so many different ideas and ways to present this information. Once you've got the information, so many ideas out there. So I've got some suggestions for software to do all those different types of presentation, and that's over at my website. So make sure you head over there and get all the links. But that, everyone, is pretty much some amazing ways to present Life Story Interview Gold. So to recap, we had number 1 was getting it transcribed and organised. Number 2, getting the photos, writing the captions. And 3, we are sort of presenting it and picking our format. We need to then share it with our friends and family. So my hope is that this will be a really exciting exercise for you, and it will help you finish a life story feature article for your loved one that they will really enjoy and cherish for years to come. So if you'd like to know more, like I said, head over to my website. It's foreveryoungautobiographies.com. And if you go /Life Story Challenge Part 3 at the end, so Life Story Challenge Part 3, it'll take you directly to the post, and it has all the links for those writing tools and resources that I mentioned earlier. While you're there, leave me a comment. What format did you choose and how was it received? Did you get a real kick out of bonding with your loved one? I'd love to know. So leave me a comment and drop me one here as well. Now, earlier, before I go, I mentioned the Your Family Story System deal. Now, this is the full-blown step-by-step of how to interview a loved one. It's the system, and it will show you planning, interviewing, compiling, and then presenting in heaps more detail here. So that's available at the moment while we're all in these challenging times. It's 50% off, and you can get that at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/deal. So head over there. It's a really good opportunity to take this challenge to the next level. And if you're not quite sure, you can get the first few sections of Your Family Story System for free, just to have a little bit of a sneak peek. And that is at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/free. So I highly recommend having a look and get started creating and recording more family stories. Now, I'll be back again really soon with a new topic. So until then, it'd be fantastic if you could follow, subscribe and like the show. So till then, everybody, happy writing and stay safe.